Welcome everyone back into the bunker. We have a little bit more of a streamlined intro, but just want to take a quick second and remind everybody that if you have any kind of paranormal issues, experiencing a haunting, seen a UFO, or you've seen a Bigfoot or the Jersey Devil, any kind of craziness, even psychic phenomena, drop us a line at mailtothebunker@gmail.com. But tonight we're talking about, and I'm joined by Beth, by the way.
Hello.
And tonight we're going to be talking about the paranormal, but kind of a different angle on it. And we have some audio that we're going to be sharing, playing some EVPs from the location. Very brief investigation, but pretty interesting one, I think.
Had to be done.
Yeah.
And we'll explain why once.
For sure, yeah.
Get there.
It's something, before we get into the audio and all that stuff, I wanted to actually give a little bit of background. It's something that Beth and I have both sort of gone through in the past, I would say, like, all in all, like 2 years maybe.
Yeah, not even 2 years.
Yeah. First, my mom died years ago, but my father just died recently, and so we just were like dividing up the estate and selling off the house. And it was weird to see like my childhood home. All of a sudden, it's like someone else's house now, and you know what I'm saying? Because that was just such an integral part of my entire childhood. Because that's where I grew up, like from day one.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden one day, I'm like, whoa, I can't go over there anymore. Like it's really weird.
Yeah.
To be all of a sudden like cut off from something, a home, a location. It could be even a business that you're really attached to. And then you just went through this.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
You know, if you want to, I don't know how much background you really want to tell the listeners, but.
Oh, no, well, the same thing. I mean, I didn't live there as long. We moved there when I was 11.
Yeah.
But the same situation. My dad had died. It'll be 2 years in September. But recently my mom had to be put into a nursing home. So they actually had a reversed mortgage. So the bank has the house, but we had to get rid of everything. And which is a big 4-bedroom home, 6-bed garage out in Tabernacle, New Jersey. So, yeah, the same thing. We had to get rid of as much as we can, or sell as much as we can, you know, to make my mom some money. And so, yeah, it's just weird because now we can't, you know, it's changed the locks. You can't go there or anything like that. So
it's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, and so we were just kind of talking about that and just how that just strange place that you end up in sometimes. It's just kind of totally out of your comfort zone, and you know, something you take for granted. It's just like shifted and it's gone, or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's just a weird experience. And so we didn't have a lot of opportunity to investigate, honestly, because like you said, you know, the bank was coming in, so the family had to come in and you know, divvy up and take a lot of personal things themselves. You know, sell a bunch of stuff. All that, and so it was, you know, a hustle and bustle of activity towards the end, especially. Yeah. But we did get a chance to go over twice.
Yeah, the last 2 days that we owned the house before the bank took it over, we, you know, and what we do, we're paranormal investigators. So, and you know, the first rule of thumb is never to investigate your own house, but it wasn't the family house anymore. So, needless to say, we did take a recorder and go in and do some EVPs on the house.
Yeah, we did for a little bit. It was. I brought my stuff, and I was able to kind of, as you were taking care of family issues, I could kind of slip away and did some recordings and stuff. So we do have some audio. We got some interesting stuff, but your house was kind of interesting in the sense that your place may have had a history of, you know, activity even before your parents passed. You know what I mean? Like you remember. Yeah. You saw stuff in the house as a child, right?
Yeah. Yep. I saw a Native American girl, and I was 11 when we first moved in at the edge of my bed.
That's right.
And my mom had seen a chief in his full outfit, his full attire, headdress, and everything at the edge of her bed. So yeah, and it's a big Native American burial ground in that area.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, the house they're talking about was just off of Oakshade Road, and then for those of you that are familiar, that's the old part of Oakshade Road was the old borderline of the Brotherton Reservation where the Lenape Indians stayed before a lot of them moved north and west and south and whatever. So it was, a reservation. So there were definitely Native Americans around there. So it's pretty cool that before you knew that fact, you saw this native child at the foot of your bed. So like my house, we did the same thing with my house, and we didn't honestly really we're getting lots of voices, but nothing familiar, nothing that really seemed like it was intelligent responding, nothing super compelling. It was just some voices, but I had known my house was active, just like yours was.
Yeah.
But so the places had activity even while we were living there. So it makes me wonder. It's like, I don't know, is that just like a hot spot or something? And the house just happened to be there, or how does that work? Because seeing activity from once you were a kid. I mean, did you see and experience stuff growing up too, like in the house, or?
That was basically it because I was afraid of it, but I always felt like something was in my room, and I would just hide under the covers. And then one night, it was the same night that I saw the little girl spirit. I heard something was brushed up against the door, and I called for my dad, and I was screaming in fear, and he'd come running in. He's like, "There's nothing here."
Oh no.
So yeah, and off and on, I just felt uneasy, so yeah, it was just that's how it was like growing up. Just somebody said a friend had come over and we weren't home, and she said she knocked on the door and heard somebody running up the steps, and there was nobody there.
Really? There was no one home?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was scary because I was a kid back then and didn't understand what was going on. But,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your parents didn't really believe that stuff either, so they didn't really encourage it. Yeah.
No.
So we have some audio. What I think I'm going to do is until the break, I'm going to play the EDPs that I caught first because they're less impressive, which is interesting because it was your house that of the two of us had the connection, and you seem to get far more compelling EVPs.
Well, no, I was asking questions the second day. The first day I wasn't. I was there, but I wasn't asking.
That's also
any
true.
Questions.
Also true. Yeah.
So yeah.
That's interesting.
So I guess that's because remember we were still packing up things, so I didn't have time to we didn't really do anything till the next day.
Yeah, that's right. Like we grabbed a couple things, but it was like all the work was kind of done.
Yeah, but you were the only one, recording and doing stuff throughout the house.
Yeah.
On the first day.
The first day.
And then we went back, and it was just us, me and you, and that's when I started asking questions. And
yeah, it's interesting that there were fewer people there. It was just the two of us, and we caught more auditory stuff, like more voices.
Yeah.
Than when there were more people there. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
Is it weird? That's sometimes how it works,
It's like so.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's like so consistently weird. We should come up with a name for it. It's like above the norm, so maybe like paranormal.
Well, maybe they were. Yeah. Well, maybe they were just waiting for, not many people to be there.
No, that's true. That's true. Could be.
It'd
be also easier to hear it because there are less people there also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the recorders, though, should be, in theory, listening consistently throughout, right? Mm-hmm. But in some cases, like we find it all the time, certain recorders will pick up a loud voice, certain ones won't. And,
Yeah.
There's just no rhyme or reason to it sometimes. Like, even there's times where we hear something like something screamed, and we turn off the recorder and we're all excited. Yeah, we're gonna catch this thing, and there's nothing on it. So.
Yeah.
But it's nice when you catch evidence, and it was nice that we got some evidence there because it was your childhood home and you were leaving, and it was it was kind of like a melancholy situation.
Yeah.
To say the least, and so I was like, man, please, let's get some good EVPs, like please.
We did.
We did get some pretty cool ones. So what I'm going to do is play, and we'll discuss the ones I caught first, because to me they're less impressive. Then we'll take the break, and then we'll come back and then we'll go over your EVPs, which were, to me, I think, far more impressive. So this thing keeps going to sleep on me. Okay, here we go. So this is marked as just a breath.
So I still have all my tools and crap like that in like a big box.
Yeah,
See the
it's
bottom
all
of it?
rusty.
It's really nasty.
And the limit and the garage. Yeah,
Okay,
you
yeah,
hear it
that's-
at the end. You hear.
It's towards the end, yeah. It's pretty low. I think some people may miss it. Here, I'll replay that
Turn
part.
it up a little.
And the limit and the garage. And the limit and the garage. And the limit and the garage.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like right after you say garage.
Yeah, you can hear. Mm-hmm.
Sounds like maybe attempting to say a word or something. I don't know. It sounds
Yeah.
odd, but it's definitely a breath.
Yeah.
This is this next one. I caught it at random when I just set the recorder down, and I was helping you guys with something, and so there was no one in this part of the house at the time. And I caught this weird, like it sounded like one of us falling down, but there was none of us. None of us were in the room.
Yeah.
And I've caught this before. We were discussing this earlier. Remember, I caught almost the same thing at White Hill Mansion for whatever reason. But yeah, here we go.
This picture I found.
Hey, you see your sister just walks in right there. Mm-hmm. But like before that, there was like footsteps, and then this person yelling.
Yeah. It's like, ah!
And there was no one in the room.
Right.
There was no one in there. I caught some weird ones. This is hooting. It sounds like it's really low.
It sounds like a whistle.
It sounds like whistling. You're right. Hold on.
Let me turn up a little.
I can't go up
Okay.
too high, but here, I'll try this. Oh, I heard it there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that originally I marked it as hooting because that's what it sounded like to me, but it's
Sounds like
whistling.
whistle.
It's a whistling. Like somebody, yeah.
Yeah, my dad would whistle a lot.
You did mention that after we caught these, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So that's some whistling.
Yeah.
Here's some mumbling.
Water
Go to
heater's
Dad,
brand
please.
new. I feel like I want to take that out. I took so much stuff. I have all your chairs in my garage. It's
sorry.
like, what am I
Okay.
going to do with them?
Can you put them up in the attic?
Here's a part.
I did not hear it that time.
I think it was in the beginning, kind of.
Was it?
Water
Go to
heater's
Dad,
brand new.
please.
I feel like I want to take that out. I took so much stuff. I have all your chairs in my
Ah.
garage.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like, what am I
Okay.
going to do with them?
Can you put them up in the attic?
Here's a part.
Then the end, and then I almost hear, yeah. At the end.
Yeah, that one again. It's a little bit harder to
But at the end,
pull
you
out
hear,
because of
yeah.
the voices there. But
I heard it at the end when you.
it's like down. It was you and I,
I was
Kim,
Amanda,
Amanda.
Cameron. I
Cameron.
think. Yeah. That's it.
We're all downstairs at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are some other voices and conversation going on. So that's kind of hard. But
Yeah.
yeah. Let's see. Here's a whisper.
Oh, we found a 5.5 foot snake sitting here.
In the attic. Okay.
Yeah. Right before after she said she has a 5'6" snake in the attic.
Yeah. Yeah. There's an ongoing snake issue in this part of Jersey as well, which we'll get into on another episode. But here we go.
5.5 foot snake sitting here.
In the attic. Okay. It's right there.
Yeah. Right after she said it's
5.5 foot snake sitting here.
yeah.
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Again, like these were harder to hear because I guess just when I was recording this time, there was just more people around. I guess.
And the basement was louder. There was more people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, this was pretty cool. because this is one of those moments everyone was downstairs doing stuff in the basement. I slipped upstairs to the second floor and started asking questions. I was addressing the Native American girl that you had seen, and I was sitting in your bedroom. And all of a sudden I heard this distinct, you can hear the voices, the distant voices of everyone else, like in the basement. But then you hear this like humming come up. And I heard it with my ears, so it was disembodied, but it was loud enough to where it jumped out at me, and I perked up in the room like, wait a minute, who the hell is that? Because it sounded like it was right outside the door of your bedroom, like right in the hallway right there. That's to me, that's what it sounded like. I was listening in real time.
Yeah.
But here we go. Yeah, so you can hear like little thumps and stuff. That's people working in the basement, so that's not part of it.
And you're,
But this clear, to me, it was crystal clear at the time.
yeah.
This humming, it sounded really close.
Yeah. Yeah, you said you heard it in your ear.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can almost hear it traveling
Yeah.
a little bit. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for mine. But, I mean, do you have any thoughts on those specifically? Like, anything jump out at you about those? To me, the humming is what really jumped
Yeah.
out at me because I heard it, and it sounded weird.
Yeah.
Like it almost didn't belong there. You know what I mean? Like, because I knew I was upstairs and there was nobody on the first floor. Everyone was in the basement.
Right. So that's probably the Native American girl that was answering you and humming that song.
It could be. It does sound like like a child.
Yeah, it sounds like a child.
Probably female.
Probably. Yep.
That's what it sounds like to me. But that's...
Yeah, that age is hard with the voice, you know.
It is. You're right.
But yeah, it definitely sounds like a child. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And again, that was the first day when there was more people there. We were still working. We were loading up I loaded up my whole Jeep with just packed to the gills
yeah.
with like all kinds of clothes that we're donating and stuff.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of work going on at the same time. You know, these were caught.
Yeah.
But you know, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back, and then we're going to play the EVPs that were from Beth's recorder that she caught from the second day. Again, yeah, we were both just the two of us there, and
Yeah.
these are
Yeah.
way more easier to pick out.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
Crazy.
So, all right, Ed, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah.
We'll be back after a brief commercial message. I didn't say that right. Sorry. Well, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us again. Hope you enjoyed our first segment. Like I said before the break, we're going to jump into day 2, which Beth recorded. I recorded also, but I really didn't get anything,
Yeah.
which is also kind of cool. Now we're going to share the EVPs that Beth caught in her recorder, and these they're going to sound a lot different. This is going to be a fly by the seat of our pants kind of a audio clip right here because I had to process these a little bit differently than I usually do. So I'm not sure how much louder they're going to be than the other ones, or what. Here, we're just going to find out.
All right.
Number 1, labeled cool.
Cool. Okay, here we go.
Hours.
Oh, by the way, that's not the EVP. That was me saying,
Yeah.
like, damn, or something like that. I was on the other side of the room.
yeah.
So that was me.
Okay.
That's me.
Right there.
Yeah, so that's pretty straight up. Just
Yeah, you hear cool.
And-
Yeah.
And we were in the garage, correct?
We were in my dad's garage, which is a 6-bed garage. My dad had 4 antique straight rods that he built himself. That he used to keep them and he used to do all the body work and stuff like that. So we were in there, and I was trying to talk to my dad, who again has crossed over, asking him, saying that this is our last day here, and asking him to give us a sign. that he's still with us.
Yeah,
It's-
it's pretty cool. I mean, like,
Yeah.
when she says street rods, she means like a car that you'd see at like a professional car show, like a high end,
Yeah.
or like in a museum or something, like ridiculously, insanely good,
Yeah.
like original everything, like
Yeah,
immaculately clean.
Yeah, he did all the work himself. And my
Yeah.
uncle, his brother, did the interior. So yeah, he had a 1940 Chevy, a 1955 Chevy, a 32 Roadster,
I think it was a 32.
and then a Ford, right? Yeah, there's four, and then and then he had another one that it was apart, and he had the pieces of that was part of his disease of Parkinson's, taking stuff apart and putting it back together.
Oh yeah. Oh, so yeah. You start
Yeah.
getting confused. Like, okay.
He just would tinker with everything, but yeah, that's a whole nother episode. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we were asking to give us some signs, and yeah, so that's where we got that.
Yes, we got it straight up. Just a cool.
Yeah.
I think the EVP is cool.
Yeah.
So there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Pretty clear. This one's pretty cool. It's labeled Dad.
Yeah, this was cool.
So I think, is this the one where there's the, well, we'll just
We
play
were
it.
in
And,
the garage still.
yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask my dad to give us a sign, and it's like he knew, the spirit knew I was going to say Dad. So
Yeah.
you hear Dad before I say it.
Yeah, so the EVP is the dad, the breathy dad before Beth says it.
Right,
Somehow anticipate, which we've seen this happen before.
Yeah,
We'll catch EVPs of exactly something says before they say it.
yeah.
I'm not sure if that phenomenon has a name
Yeah, like it.
for it or
Yeah, like he knew I was going to ask him a question, so, or I was going to say Dad, and then you hear Dad right before I say Dad.
Yeah, and it's really loud. It's almost louder than your voice.
Can you play that one again?
Yeah, I'll play it 2 more times.
Dad.
And it's almost, I don't even, the breath one is still going, and I just
Right.
start up before it's even done.
Yeah, they
which is
they
weird.
definitely overlap, which proves it's not you.
Right, exactly. And you're not going to say, and you're not saying Dad. It's not your
Yeah,
dad.
no, and I was on the other side.
Yeah,
of the
you were on the
garage,
way of the other side.
so
yeah.
I wasn't anywhere near the microphone.
No.
That sounds like it's closer to the microphone than you are.
Right, yeah, right next to it, or the recorder.
Dad.
You know what I mean? It sounds closer than you,
Yeah,
which is nuts because you're holding it in your hand.
yeah,
Pretty cool. It's,
yeah.
like I said, these were far more impressive. Okay, so I'm going to play this other one first. It's just a hey.
I thought I heard a man's voice. Oh my God, there's a little.
Yeah, so
You can hear it's like real quick. Hey,
it's like after you say, I heard a man's voice.
and I thought it was outside though.
Yeah. Yeah, this again sounds real clear, real close to the recorder.
I thought I heard a man's voice. Oh my God, there's a little.
There's a quick hey.
It almost sounds like there's a word after that too. Like hey, and then you start talking, and then something else after that.
Play.
There's a little.
There's some, yeah. I think it's saying hey something. But you start talking, so you kind of go over it a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But there's another word there.
I thought I heard a man's voice. Oh my God, there's a little.
Yeah, hey something.
Sounds like hey Beth.
Go ahead, go back
It
again.
sounds like hey Beth.
well,
That's what I heard that
they
time.
just say my name in one of them. Go back, or let me
I
hear
thought
you.
I heard a man's voice. Oh my God, there's a little.
It does say hey Beth.
It does, right? Holy shit.
But the thing is, my family calls me Beth Ann. So, he wouldn't call me Beth.
That's a good point.
That's what I'm telling you. So, I mean, it could have been somebody else. Not that he wouldn't, but
Right.
very rare my family calls me Beth Ann. Everybody.
But yeah, I did notice that. But the thing is about a lot of these voices, like it sounds like we have like their voices you said you didn't recognize.
I'm not convinced they're all my dad. Yeah.
I don't think they are either, and I think it's again like we were saying before. Maybe this house is just in those sacred lands of the Lenape. Maybe
Yeah.
it's maybe those
Yeah.
it's just a hot spot, and it's always going to be no matter what's there. Who knows? But
Yeah. So if it was my family, well, one or two would call me Beth, but my whole family just would call me. My name is Beth Ann, one word. So they would.
Yeah.
My family calls me that.
yeah,
But-
I did notice everyone in the family calls you that.
Yeah, they do.
So, yeah, but the voices we call are pretty clear. And you said, I don't recognize them. I think that
Some of them.
some of them
think
just seem
some-
like random.
I think some are my dad. Well, and I am a psychic medium, so
Right.
that could be part of it also.
Yeah,
That's why I just wanted to mention that because maybe that has something to do with it. It could be the other,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
because
not
you were
sure.
there also. Not only would you catch the recordings, but like you were also there at the time. Reaching out and channeling and opening up and stuff like that. So, I mean, it could just be that he did come in, but like just some other stragglers just kind of wandered in, like, oh hey, what's going on over here, and just kind of just
Yeah,
joined in with us because
Yeah.
they sound like a couple of them sound like kids that
yeah,
don't really fit in the context of anyone that's passed or anything like that. So, I mean,
right. Because to be honest with you, when some of them some are my dad, I recognize the voice, but some that we did capture, nothing comes to mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nothing's ringing a bell with me when I hear some of them. So we're not sure who all these voices are.
Exactly. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's just a regular case in that way because you always get like weird EVPs. They don't
Yeah.
really make sense. It's like different voices all just chiming. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So we have a really, really cool one that I'm actually waiting on. I'm going to play some more of these other ones first. I think I'm
Save
gonna
the
play
best
that.
for last.
I'm going to play that one last. You know which one I'm talking about.
I do.
And
Class A crazy EVP.
This
Probably one of the
one's-
clearest we've ever heard.
yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, it's as clear as us. It might even
Yeah.
be clearer than us.
Yeah.
That's how, yeah. This one's marked Beth.
Oh yeah, you hear well.
What's in the other?
Screws and drywall.
What's in the other?
That's not the best one though.
What's in the other?
Screws and drywall.
It says pot.
What's in the other?
Because remember,
Yeah.
I was asking you what's in the other pot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. There was
that's not the-
there was like
there's
a
a-
big stew pot downstairs in the basement.
And it said it said pot or it said something on it.
It said
screws.
screws and drywall nails or
But
something
again,
like that.
it said it before I said it.
Yeah.
It almost knew what we were saying, which is a little freaky. Just get-
It is because it's like, is that like a bubble in time, or are these entities able to just read our minds and tell what we're going to say before we say it? Or
Yeah,
like,
I don't
why
know.
did we hear like a
But
gigantic
it said
duck in my apartment before?
Yeah.
And there was nothing around.
right.
These and the answers to many other.
But it
questions
almost it starts saying it overlaps again.
yeah.
So I can't. How can I do that?
This place has been crazy lately.
I know.
Jesus. I just saw something over there. I lost track which one I was actually.
A
playing.
pot one.
The pot one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I just saw a shadow over there and I just lost my train of thought. Here's the one you're thinking of. The one that, yes, Beth.
Said yeah. It sounds like that to me.
Put another candle in there.
Look how pretty there's poinsettias, but it's for Christmas time.
Oh, really? This is like a winter scene.
Yes, Beth.
Yeah, it's like right at the end.
For Christmas time.
Oh, really? This is like a winter
It sounds
scene.
like to me, get Beth.
It does kind of sound like
Listen.
that. You're right.
Oh gosh.
It's for Christmas time.
Oh, really? This is like a winter
Get.
scene.
There is a T at the end. Do you hear the T?
I heard it, yeah.
Okay.
I don't like to
I know. I don't.
read into them like that, but that's what it sounds like.
Well, maybe just to get me my attention.
Just get your attention.
Yeah, about the candles. Remember, we were looking at the candles. All right, I'm 53 years old, and there was candles in my parents' basement from when I was in 8th grade that we had to sell for a fundraiser
Yeah, that
for a
was
dance or
such a cool
something.
find.
So that's what we were looking at, these candles that,
What happened?
Something touched my head,
You
and
just
I
got
have,
touched? Okay.
Yeah, and I have chills like that. My whole
I don't know if you have any of our listeners experiencing this extremely heightened paranormal activity lately. Love to hear from you. mailtothebunker@gmail.com.
off the charts.
For us, it's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Like, it's been crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why that just to get my attention and to get. Did you just knock? You just knocked. You just went like this.
No, I didn't. I heard it, though.
It sounded like it was right next to you.
I was concentrating on my phone. I wasn't...
Don't mind. All right, don't mind us. Sorry, we're getting all these weird
So I guess we're getting EVPs as we talk about EVPs, so...
Yeah.
Because I heard it on here, so we'll go back and check that out.
Okay.
Yeah, this is something aggressively. I was in my building here. There are laundry. There's 2 laundry rooms in the building, but they're on just 2 different floors, on the 2nd floor and on the 4th floor. It's a 6th-floor building. I'm on the 3rd floor, so I have to go to this other floor to get laundry. And I grabbed my stuff. I was coming back to the apartment. I came up the stairwell, and I was just walking down this hallway, and something started running up on me. Like, that sensation you get when someone's literally, if you're playing sports or something like that, someone's running up behind you. You can feel that like energy coming before that. You can kind of hear it and feel it. That's what I felt in the hallway. I had to spin around and like kind of like put shields up. You're like,
Yeah.
shoot out some stuff because I was like, I felt threatened for like a split second. I was like, because I spun around expecting to just like knock someone out.
Yeah.
Even when I spun around, there's nothing there. I was like, oh, and then I just
Yeah.
pulled shield. But I mean, we've been experiencing stuff at her place here, just everywhere we're going lately. It's just nuts.
It is nuts. I can't sleep. I don't know. It's off the charts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what that sounded like. Get Beth. But I think it was just to bring my attention to the candles.
Or maybe they were saying, get some of the candles.
Yeah.
Get Beth.
Get them, Beth. Yeah. To take them because remember you said, I should, and then I forgot and I didn't get it.
Yeah.
God, I should have. Darn it.
Yep. Let's see. Here's another one. It's just a yeah.
It's awesome.
It's really old.
Old finger.
That sounds like my dad.
It does?
Yeah.
That's definitely male.
And the feeling I get. That's how I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear. Yeah, because you were talking about all the neat stuff my dad had. Remember
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
That garage. And you saw when it was all full. That was kind of empty.
It was like a freaking
He had
museum.
his whole life was in there. Yeah.
I mean, unreal.
Sad.
Just the countless amount of, and then we talk about this often about different haunted locations, and like we talk about like, oh, is there energy just absorbed in the wood and the bricks and the because they sweat blood, sweat, and tears. They built this house from their own hands. They, had a tough life.
Yeah.
Year in and year out. Kids dying, diseases, war, all this stuff, right? And all that emotions poured into that, and it's pretty cool when you can like get that kind of connection with like your house, you know what I mean?
And it has to be the reason why we have got so many EVPs because of my connection to the house.
Yeah.
And them knowing it was the last day. I mean, not that I actually turned on a recorder at my house, but when we were living there, but
Right.
I just feel like it's that connection and energy that stays, in the walls and,
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about the number of hours he must have spent in that garage.
Hours.
Thousands of hours.
He should have put a cot.
Easily.
Well, they lived there a long time, since I was 11.
Yeah.
40 years.
Yeah.
1978.
That's right. That's a long time to be just in there, all the
Yeah, crazy.
like the hard work, the frustration, the planning, all that goes into like building a car. Like I can't even imagine what goes into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And like he like built how many altogether?
And he
5,
didn't even
6,
finish,
7 cars?
He didn't even finish school.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean,
Pretty amazing.
and then it's like gone. You can't take it with you, and it's gone. It's all
Yeah, that's the other thing we were talking about too, with the the two homesteads going away.
Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy, like all the stuff you accumulate, and it's just like you just take advantage of it, or take it for granted rather, because like it's just in your surroundings. You know what I mean? Like I was saying at my parents' house, like there were certain things that were just in the same spot for like my entire life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine. Like I'd walk in the basement and it was just cleaned out. Like we hired some people and they came in, all the stuff that was basically just junk. They came in and took it, and so within hours, the whole entire basement, which for my entire life was filled with stuff.
Yeah.
And I walked down there, it was completely empty, like gone. Even the bench was gone. Like, and I was just looking around, like, what the?
Yeah.
It was just a weird sensation, like,
Yeah.
because all those things that were in the same spot, for your
Yeah.
entire life, all of
Yeah.
a sudden they're just not there anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
it's really weird.
And I don't know. I think it was, for me, it was weirder in my parents' house because we had to leave stuff in there. Their belongings are still there because we couldn't get it all out. There's still so much stuff there.
True.
You just had to walk away. You can't. They.
Yeah. It's true. It's a shame, but
Yep.
like if you think about the number of things that you did actually, that people took or sold,
You've got a lot. Yeah.
that's a lot too. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, so speaking of which, while we're at Beth's house, it's the last day. We're in the basement, and we're just kind of looking through things and just
Is this the last one?
recording it. Yeah, recording, and we're just talking about stuff and chit chatting, talking about a lot of stuff we're talking about right now. And I came across this like little case that had this like a whole set. I think it was was it like a picnic set or?
No, it was a case of silverware that I don't know if you ever remember the store Boscov's back in the day. If you bought so much stuff, or I don't know, any of those department stores, they would give you a free gift set or a free something came with something. So
Somewhere around here, I still have a little silver tray that I got from Stearns. Remember Stearns?
Yeah, and so the day before we were there 2 days in a row. When we were down the basement, my sister opened it up and looked at it. And we were like, oh, we thought we hit the jackpot. And then my daughter came over and said, no, look, and she scraped it with her fingernail, and she said, no, it's plated, it's fake, and it peeled right off.
Yeah, it was like gold paint.
Really cheap, cheesy stuff. No wonder it was free. So then, so then the second day when Mike and I were there, just us in the house, once again we were down in the basement, and like looking through things, whether to take things, and what else could we get, or just so that they don't throw it in the trash. And so we were down there and we're talking, and then this happened.
So now keep in mind, before I play this, I'll just mention it again. Like Beth and I are the only ones
in the house
that are in the house. Mm-hmm. The only ones that are on the property at this point. There's no one else there. So here we go.
It's fake. It's plated. We tried. See how it bubbles? Man, if you can do that, it's just golden. I know. That blade the other night, remember Kimmy found it, she was like, oh my God.
So we'll play it again.
So there's actually for those with the tuned ear, you're going to hear two different voices in this one. Actually, there's going to be a little like a mumble or like it almost sounds like a like something like that before the voice.
Yeah.
And then
you hear it.
It very obviously says the voice that says gold and silver is not one of us.
It's not any of us, and it talks over me. So they say gold and silver, and that's the EVP. And I start talking when they're not even done finished saying gold and silver. So it's not me. It can't be me.
Yeah, again, they overlap.
And it's not Mike. So very interesting. We'll play it again.
But yeah, it's after I listened to it a few times, I heard that little grunt.
Yeah.
Before like, Then it's like a different voice, like a little kid again, or like a real young person.
Yeah.
Says gold and silver. And it's odd. You were even saying this before. Like, I never say it that way. I always say silver and gold. I'm like, me too.
You know that song from Christmas time as you were a kid?
Yeah, Burl Ives.
Yeah. Silver and gold, silver and gold. That's how I would say it. And then I wouldn't say
gold decorations.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Help me. Okay.
Sorry.
And then I wouldn't say it like that. Gold and silver. So it was pretty freaky. I don't know.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Yeah.
And again, neither of us would even say it that way. But you can tell it's not our voices.
Yeah, because I start talking when it's not even finished, so you can hear it. We'll play it again.
fake. Let's plate it. We tried. See how bubbles?
Yeah, that's
Man,
easy.
if you can do that, it's just golden silver. I know. That blade. We tried. See how bubbles? Man, if you can do that, it's just golden silver. I know. That blade the other night. Kimmy found it.
So that is pretty crazy. That's probably one of the Class A EVPs that I've gotten a history of ghost investigation.
That one's
Because
yeah,
it's
real good.
none of us said it, and I don't. It's I don't know.
And the thing I like about it is that it's addressing the exact thing we're talking about, obviously, because we're looking at this gold, plated silverware.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So I'm not sure if that's my dad or not.
I
can't.
don't know what.
I don't know who that is. It's not unless he's just making fun of, which he did. My dad was a big clown. It could be him saying gold and silver.
I wonder, could that be him as a kid?
I don't know. It's just bizarre.
Because that definitely sounds like a young person, like teenager
Well,
or less.
I don't know. Well,
To
not
me,
that
anyway.
young. Not that. Yeah, it
No.
doesn't sound that young to me. Like the other young one. Gold and silver. I don't know.
I played it for Justin, and he said that he sounded like, to him, it almost sounded kind of like your voice, but like a weird twisted version of it,
Yeah.
or someone trying to mock you, maybe.
Yeah, maybe somebody trying to mock me because I was.
Gold and silver.
Because I was, we were making fun of it because it was just chipping off with our fingernail, so it wasn't real.
Yeah, it was like gold paint.
But I
basically.
don't
Yeah.
like talk like that or sound like that. I don't think I do, but you know what? You don't
No.
think you sound like.
No, that doesn't sound.
yeah.
That doesn't sound anything like you to me.
But again, it says it as I'm continuing talking, so it's
Right.
you can't
Exactly.
do that. That's not possible.
That's what I like about it, because we're not necessarily talking over it, but you can hear it overlap. So it just proves beyond doubt of a shot of a doubt that it's not you.
Right.
And that voice register could only be like, I don't
Right,
even think
and
I
we-
could talk like make that sound with my
Right,
vocal
and we
cords.
tried to debunk it because I was like, Mike, was that you? And you're like, no, and it wasn't me because I started talking and it's talking over me. So
Yeah, but it's just
it's so weird.
it is weird, and it just kind of puts more fuel into the theory that, like, place really does matter. And a lot of times when we investigate, well, I mean, it's almost one of the first things we look into at first is like, okay, what happened on the land?
Yeah.
Not even so much the house, but like what area of the country is this? Wait, what took place here?
Yeah.
Because I think that the land, especially with Native Americans, I mean, they lived here for thousands of years, probably at
Yeah.
least,
Before we did.
and long before we did. And how many generations is that of like people sweating, crying into the earth, like
Yeah.
eventually dying, literally put back in the earth, and
Yeah.
over and over again. I mean, that's you're tied to that land. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
tied to that place. And after having this experience with my house, and then going through it again with your house, I could see where they're coming from now. You know, I get it. Like getting just wrenched away from, this thing that, in your head when you think of home, that's the place you thought about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden one day it's like, poof.
Everything's gone. It's like they're just material things that you don't need. So it's just crazy, though. Your
Yeah.
whole life is gone, and it's like, well, if you think about it, they say you can't take it with you. Material things really don't matter. It's what kind of person you are, who you love, stuff like that.
That's true, but there's still energy in those things.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you use the same tool for 35
Oh,
years,
yeah,
your
yeah.
energy's in that thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you built like your dad did, like you were showing me the bathroom he did in there, it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
The wood panels and all that
Yeah.
stuff. If you had done that yourself, like that's energy that you put into it. You know what I mean? You didn't hire someone to come in and do it.
Right.
You did it yourself. That's your energy going into your dwelling. And, there has to be a connection at some point at a deep
Yeah.
level for certain locations that we
Yeah.
think highly of,
Yeah, I mean, so I'm glad I got to do it. It's bittersweet. It's emotional that I did it, but how can I not? What do we do? Again, And again, I wouldn't have, you don't never investigate your own home because you have to live there and you don't know what you're bringing in. But knowing that the house is gone forever, it was okay to do it
Yeah,
because no one lived there. It was gone.
I mean, I think that every situation there can be an exception, but for the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because when you investigate, you kind of open up the door to communicate with something.
Yeah.
And if you do it in your own home, that's going to be really difficult to turn off if things start coming through and trying to communicate.
Mm-hmm. So now people are probably going to say, what about the next people that move in there? I mean, this was something personal to me. The house, I'll tell you right now, the house has to be gutted. The roof was leaking, like it's bad. So whoever comes in there has to redo the whole thing anyway. You know, but you don't know that a house you're coming into. You know, we just and you know what? I knew who I was talking to. I was asking for a response from my dad. I wasn't calling in any Joe Schmo. You know what I'm saying? I was just
right, exactly.
Specifically asking my dad for a sign.
Yeah, that's true. And the wording is important, and I think a lot of people overlook that sometimes. When you're trying to communicate with something that you can't see, it's like you can't really tell what you're dealing with. So it behooves you to be as safe as possible, and the wording is really important because you can't just say, "Hey, is anyone here?"
Right. I was specifically asking my dad.
Exactly.
And we did the same thing. My grandmom's house, actually. We went the last day, and
that's right.
Marty, friends of ours, came with me, and that was the last day we had that house too.
I forgot about that. That's right.
And we have to find those EVPs because they were pretty cool too. My grandma, we heard dishes clanging and water running.
That's cool. Yeah, that's right. I remember you playing me that one.
We have to find
it was like
that.
in the drain thing, like it were banging together.
Yep.
Yeah, the dishes. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So, and obviously there was no one there, so doing dishes because nothing was turned on or running or no dishes there. So, but so, I mean, it brought me some comfort in a weird way to get a response, Yeah,
I think so. And like you said, just because of what we do, like we had to try.
Yeah.
Because if we have potentially the equipment and the techniques to possibly get a super profound message for someone, like why not try? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we've caught a lot of voices, and a lot of times they're, literally directly addressing what we're talking about. Sometimes not so much. Sometimes it's hard to tell, but
yeah.
But it was pretty cool to get an opportunity to go over there for a few hours when it was nice and quiet. But that was my Tommy, sorry. Yeah, it just got us thinking about place, and I think it would be a good point to just remind the listeners and remind myself too, because I need to remember this, that if you're ever going into a place to investigate, like treat it like your own house. Utmost respect at all times. No provoking. No
protection.
Crazy stunts like that. Put up your protection, whatever that is. No matter where you go, because if, like we said earlier, if we begin opening lines of communication, you can't always prevent something coming through that you don't want there.
Right.
And it does sometimes happen. So, anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling.
Okay.
Have any closing thoughts?
No, just. I think I said it. I think I said everything. Maybe we'll get some comments or questions.
Yeah, that's a good point. Anyone that listens to the episode and you even have a comment, a question, a critique, plus minus, whatever, anything in between, you can drop us a line at mail, MAIL, to the bunker at gmail.com. If you're having issues with a haunting yourself, if you need some kind of counseling about either haunting activity, psychic development, protection, any kind of questions like that, if we can't answer it, we'll definitely find the person who can and get you the best answer possible. So feel free to do that as well. But I think that about wraps her up.
Okay.
And I want to thank everyone for joining us. Hope you enjoyed.
Yes, thank you. Have a good night. Stay safe and well.
Absolutely. COVID's still here and we're still dealing with it. So hopefully light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, stay safe, everybody, for sure.